Okay, this is our Lego City so far. It's just a few building sets and some vehicles. You tend to get a lot of vehicles with Lego and no buildings to park them in front of, so I've decided to have kind of an angled parking deal here. Now, this is one of our first sets, and it's a biggie. It was pretty expensive. It's a hotel cafe, and it's got several floors, and it's got a lot going on. You've got like some people at the cafe there. You've got the owner of the cafe. He's receiving a shipment due to the boombox, waiting for the bus. There's a chef guy, and these aren't all from the same set. So I think the chef guy's from something different, but the others are from the cafe. And as you get up to the top of the hotel, we have some of the many, many emergency services that work for Lego City, because you end up with all kinds of police and firefighters. And it makes you wonder how safe Lego City really is. Everything's perpetually being robbed or on fire, I guess. They need a lot of people. But let's take a look inside. Let's move these guys. Now I've got Bizarro Batman there. I got some food laid out. I've got Lego Movie dude there, which I got for free. And in there is Frodo. Wish the light was better. But you can see that I've got also got Clark Kent, and he's turning into Superman. Now these are just odd characters, and I decided that in order to explain why they would all be there, I decided that the hotel is having a convention. So you see some other characters from odd sets. There's a race car guy from the Advent calendar. And he's got a kid with his mom talking to him. And over here you've got a guy in a spacesuit from the Advent calendar. And you've also got, hard to see, but a Darth Vader minifigurine and a large keyring Darth Vader. And this guy's really huge, so I decided to make him a display. Yeah, so that's what's going on. And below that, there's another floor that we keep saying we're going to turn into a cafe, and we have not yet done so. So far, all I've got in there is an ATM. But there's stairs that go up. Bear with me while I put this back. There's stairs that go up from floor to floor, so it's built pretty nicely. It's got flow to it. Let me put this back. And I put these guys back, and I have not spilled those hot dogs yet. Of course, you got a Dalmatian, because they're firefighters. There we go. Is it going to go in properly now that I'm showing somebody? Of course not. Oh, all right, good, good. There we go. All right, so let's move on. Now I've got a bicycle shop and a cafe. Now this thing right there in the middle, it's right there, there's a hinge there. And you could just slide that around and have that thing in 3 dimensions. But right now it's kind of a facade. And there's stuff inside. But if you open it up, you get basically 2 buildings there. And over here is the cafe and a flower shop, I believe. And in the very end is a corner deli. You can see you got like a firefighter there getting a sandwich. And there's a sandwich sign there. There's another doggy, a fire hydrant that's probably already been hit. And then there's some people on the roof. Let's see if I can put the camera behind. I don't know if you're getting a good shot of this, so I'm just going to slowly pan the camera and hope for the best. And bear with me, I'm going to move around the cafe here, hotel. I hope you are seeing something cool. I don't know, I'll look at it later. But if you come out this way, this set here, Spider-Man and Doc Ock. Now the police there were from another set. Spider-Man and Doc Ock are their own set. And it's basically a bank truck, and Doc Ock is stealing stuff, and his arms are, they're flexible, and they stick where you pose them. So you can do stuff like this. You can have Spider-Man hanging on, fighting over a stick of dynamite, so Doc Ock can't throw it anywhere. And I was careful to get the real Doc Ock. That's important to me. Old school, because I'm an old man, so I go for old school. Once again, lots of police vehicles in Lego City. Lots of police. Probably not a safe place. Let's look at some of the other sets that I have. What is over this way? We've got some suburban stuff like a tree house, and we've got a beach house here, and you can see the hinge action there. That's how these are built. There's this guy teaching this kid how to surf. There's a museum robbery. I'm going to build that into a display, kind of like the city, but right now it's just sitting loose. Over here we've got Little Mermaid stuff. Not a fan of the Friends set, but that's where Ariel was, and the wife is a big-time Little Mermaid fan in the same way that I'm a Star Trek fan, so we've got to make sure that that's represented. And I've got some other type Disney mermaid stuff that I got from Amazon and scored that way. Obviously, here's the Ghostbusters, and there's the Ecto one. It's no small amusement to me that this really was an ambulance in the original movie, and the new movie's going to have to be a hearse because they no longer build ambulances and hearses the same way. Got a bagpiper guy, Train from the Advent Calendar, and yeah, that's the DeLorean and Doc Brown. The radio control device does not come with that. I got that from something else and decided to give it to Doc Brown. Here's a Scuba Batman. Yeah. A Scuba Batman. And he comes with this set here, because that's a bad guy, basically. Up here, we have regular Batman inside the Batmobile. And I got the Flash in this set, which is Flash and Spider-Man are my prizes because they're my favorite characters. One Marvel, one DC. This is a little Hulk set with a normal-sized Hulk. That little 4x4 comes apart, and he holds both the halves of it to show how tough and strong he is. This thing came with Spider-Man. I'm not using it, though. This van came with the museum heist, so that'll be part of that. This Batmobile is intended to be chasing this Riddler car. So a lot of the crooks will be working for the Riddler. Because there's a lot of crooks in Lego City too. That should be noted. I've got a little helicopter from one of the sets. This is the swamp type police, because that's a whole set. And I've got Lex Luthor here in his power armor. Now the reason why it was important to get Lex Luthor in his power armor is I got a double whammy here. I got Superman, not the new Man of Steel one where he's got a mean look on his face, but the kind of smiling good guy Superman, the Boy Scout. I got him, and he's got his, you can see he's got his red briefs there. It's the old school Superman. And that set also came with, and this is really the reason I got the set, old school Wonder Woman. Now I'm cool with the new Wonder Woman that has the darker outfit and the pants and all that stuff. I'm cool with all that. But that one has a sword, and I'm a big fan of the lasso of truth. Wonder Woman is the only superhero who knows for a fact that she has never ever put an innocent person in jail. Knows for a fact. Put her back. Sorry, Wonder Woman. Put her back on the Batmobile. When I was a kid, she would be on the invisible jet, standing on the wing, lassoing stuff. I was like, man, that's a jet. How do you... She's tough. And of course, the Flash is probably jumping over that. that car. All right, so one more shot of the city, I guess. Oh, this is what happens when you get to be a grown-up and you realize that you can just buy the stuff you didn't have when you were a kid, if it still exists. That's where that comes from. All right, so one more shot of the city. And there's other sets too. We have the entire pirate set, all of it, including some extra stuff that was like just for the kid sets. And I'll show that another time. We've got this black foam laid down to be the street. I'm probably going to start cutting on that and maybe, I don't know, painting or doing something to it to make it look like a real street. And I've also got some gray that can be sidewalks. So that's going to be a whole craft project of scenery. And it seems to go with the Legos okay, and it's a lot cheaper than the Lego plates, which are like $15 for basically something the size of this base. And that's a little steep, you know. So just one set at a time, and focus on getting some of these small buildings. And when you open them up, it's like having two buildings. Keep in mind the corner deli here, it's meant to be the corner. So it's built at a 90-degree angle like that. But another important point about all of these buildings I'm looking at, they're called 3-in-1. So there's 3 sets of instructions, and you can build them in 3 different ways. We decided to go with the way that's on the front of the box because that's what we were attracted to when we bought it. But if we wanted to, we could tear it all apart and build it in 2 different ways. But this was the way that had the hinge, and this is the way that provided the biggest set. And I've even considered just getting bricks from Pick-a-Brick and just building a wall that looks like this, and it would just be a facade, and just have that go all the way down the table. And I certainly would like to turn this into kind of an alley. But for that, I'd need more table. And there's only so much house. You know, the guy in the Lego movie had this gigantic basement with so much room. Another thing you want to pay close attention to when you have sets like this, you have to do better than me and pay attention to dust, because they're going to get dusty. So you need to hit them regular with some canned air. I'm going to do that with mine. Hopefully I won't have to actually get in there with a Q-tip and clean it up. Hopefully canned air will do the trick. But because I've let it go so long and I've been so lazy about it, some of these newer sets are fine, but this old hotel is probably going to need some Q-tips to be cleaned. But maybe if you get it with the canned air on a semi-regular basis or something, you can prevent that from happening. So that's how that set flies. Right. Hope you enjoyed it.